class, I've made this video for you to discuss parts 2 and 3 of our virtual museum project. It'll give you an overview of what the requirements are and what I'm expecting, and help maybe to clarify any questions that you have. At this point, you should have had part 1, your topic approved, and I'm going to assume that that is the case and you're ready to move forward. If it's not the case, then you need to either verify you've had your topic approved or contact me so we can look into the situation. Let's talk about part 2, which is the actual research portion of the project, and for it you're going to create for me an annotated bibliography with 5 secondary sources. An annotated bibliography consists of the citation, which we'll do in Chicago style, and 2 paragraphs. One is a summary paragraph and one is a reflection paragraph. The summary paragraph tells me what the book was about, what the main thesis statement and arguments were that the author made, and the reflection paragraph tells what you learned, how you think you might use this information for your project, what you're taking away from this source. You need to have, again, 5 secondary sources formatted in this way, and then you will submit these to Turnitin. If you need an example of what an annotated bibliography looks like, I have provided you a link to the Purdue University Writing Center, and they have an excellent guide there for how to do this, what they look like, examples for you to view. And if you need a guide or tutorial on Turnitin, I have also provided that within the directions of your project, and that will give you an opportunity to understand how Turnitin works so that you can upload your annotated bibliography. And then it also has a further link to tell you how to view the feedback. So once we grade your annotated bibliographies, there'll be comments made, and then you'll be able to view those as well. The only other thing that you need to know about your annotated bibliography is that the citation is in Chicago style. Many of you may be familiar with MLA or APA, but historians use Chicago, and so that's what we'll be using for this project. I again have given you a link to the Chicago Style Manual's website and various tutorials within the directions file of the virtual museum. So if you'll just look in there around in the part 2 section, you will find tutorials for Chicago style and for annotated bibliographies. Once that's complete, you will start on your presentation, and actually they're both due on the same day, so I think ideally you would do your secondary source research and then move on to your artifacts, but it's highly likely that some of your sources will overlap, and you'll be pleased to be finding your sources as you've started your secondary research. So what you're looking for then for part 3, which is the presentation of artifacts, are 6 artifacts, which would be primary source artifacts about your topic. When you present these, you will present them with a date and a brief description of what the picture is of, what the image is of, what's the significance, how does it fit into the overall scheme of what your project is trying to show. And then lastly, you'll have a citation, again a Chicago style formal citation that tells me where you got the image from. You can then take your artifacts and present them in any way you'd like to. If you're most comfortable with the PowerPoint, that's perfectly fine. If you'd simply like to put it into a Word document, that's perfectly fine too. You're not going to be graded on the presentation format, but you'll be graded on the content. So don't be concerned about your presentation. However, there's really fun ways that you can present, and I gave you a list of these in the directions file towards the end of the directions. You can do it as a blog, you can do it as an issue, which is a website you can create mini magazines. You can do it as a Blogster, which lends itself to image image-based presentations, you can do a Weebly, which is an alternative form of a PowerPoint that's got a lot more movement to it. You can do, did I say a blog? You can do a wiki. There's just any way you want to present, so long as it's virtually seeable, you can do. So if you think that's something that interests you, then by all means, you may go ahead and do that. And really that's it. Both of these are due on October the 26th, and you'll present your project within the discussion board. So for some of you, you will attach a file, and for some of you, you'll just give me a web address. But one of the things you're going to want to confirm is that it attached properly, or that the link you've provided me is correct, because that October 26th due date is pretty firm. Not pretty firm, it is firm. And you're going to need to meet that. So just confirm, just to ease your own mind, that a technical difficulty isn't going to cause any problems, which I would recommend that you not wait till October the 26th to try and post. Just as if I am concerned right now about those students who waited till the day of the project approval date to post their topics. Waiting for the last day doesn't do anything but cause you stress and anxiety and potential disasters that all can be avoided if you just plan ahead a little bit. So check your dates and get that down. October 26th, final deadline for your project. And having said that, I think you guys are doing great. And if you need me, I'm here. Always post to the class questions discussion board first, so that everybody has the benefit of the answer. If you have a question about this, maybe you need to for sure go back and peruse the discussion board and see if somebody else has already asked that same question. And then if after 24 hours or so you haven't gotten a satisfactory response, then always email me. I want you all to do well. I think these are always exciting projects for me to grade, and you fully feeling comfortable. And if you need to email me, please do that. Just know that if you email me, it's always helpful, as I need your name, your course name, and section number. I may need your group number depending on what your question is, and giving me all that those preliminary statistics about who you are and where you're coming from helps me to answer your question quickly. So if you will do that for me, it'll be great. And good luck. I hope you have a good time with your research.